I think I had 17 splinters in my ass in 5 years, and I'm just fine.
Spread the blood of the innocent.
And I was like, whoa, somebody's been doing some pre-recording on this thing. Get out of here, death. A bunch of people putting their mouths up to my ass in the glory hole expecting things. I was like, no, this isn't what I want.
The wrong way, not a dick, it's an asshole. A man's butthole.
Some would say buttholes are the new pussy. What's up, everybody who thought we were going to kill ourselves after episode 100? Looks like you all owe us $50.
Freaks.
Bunch of jackasses. They wanted us to die. They wanted us to quit.
I understand it.
I mean, I also want us, you specifically, I want you to die.
Yikes. What a strong start to episode 101, which feels nothing. I feel nothing about the number 101.
Yeah, I feel nothing now that we've hit triple digits. I feel like
we can give up.
Yeah, because we're going to be in triple digits for a long time before we hit quadruple digits. Yeah. Like, this is a milestone. I'm not going to say it's not a milestone, but yeah, can you imagine when we get to quadruple digits?
No, I can't. How long is that? Like 9 years?
No, because, well, not math. We're not doing math.
Yeah, we're not doing math.
Yeah, trying to trip me up. I see you across the table over there.
Little stupid bitch. Go to www.dapperdadspodcast.com. It's new and improved for 100 episodes. Psych, bitch, you just never went before.
Yep, and it's just going to look new to you. However, we do have some fantastic new shirts up on the site. We dropped our summer collection, and there are some very hot, fresh designs on there. Flying off the e-shelves. The poor third world country we're getting the t-shirts printed in has sent us several emails begging us to stop sending in shirt orders, but we're not going to let you guys down like that.
We don't let them have emails or internet.
Yeah, come on. Don't psych us out like that. That talking moose just wants my social security card number.
And he's going to get it. But yeah, go to www.thedapperdads.com/shop or go to the regular website and click on shop. Buy yourself a nice t-shirt. There's like 7. We got some things for the kids. Put your fucking baby in with that weird, it's called like a bodysuit, which I don't think is an appropriate term for baby clothes.
We got stuff for the kids. We got stuff for the muscle-bound beefcakes out there. We got tank tops now.
Yeah, the tanks are limited, obviously, because I refuse to sell a tank as soon as it starts to get just a little chilly, because I'm not going to have you guys out here in tanks. Maybe when you're mowing the lawn or in your house drinking a beer, but don't be in public.
It's the summer collection, folks.
In winter, we'll bring back the long sleeves. We have a beautiful product that leans more towards fall-winter. That's why it didn't come out currently, but it's my favorite product, although we don't have it yet in person. So I can't speak on the quality of it.
Can't say for sure.
But I was just saying, I wore the first Dapper Dad shirt I got, the luxurious tee, which is also still on sale. If you missed any of the other ones, they're actually cheaper. So go cop yourself that Corpse t-shirt or the Pornhub one.
The Corpse is my personal favorite of the first line that we did.
Yeah, I like a lot of them.
Corpse and Luxurious are the best too.
Yeah, Luxurious was the one I bought. I put it on like 2 days ago. It's still perfect.
Yeah,
they're good quality shirts. You know how I am about shirts, and we're not going to give you no bullshit. But if you wash it anyway, it completely voids everything. So voids out
any kind of warranty you may have bought with the shirt.
Don't wash your shirts.
No.
Get beer on it. Get pizza sauce on it.
One of us personally wears the shirts before we give them to you. So why would you wash it?
That's not always false, baby. dapperdadspodcast@gmail.com, where I'll send you a picture of me putting on some of the shirts sometimes. If I do, I don't always do, but I might have done it before.
Sometimes. There's a chance if you have a Dapper Dad shirt, we might have worn them and pranced around.
More authentic.
Just Donald ducked it around in your Dapper Dad shirt.
I was wearing boxers, but I was not wearing pants.
I was not wearing anything except your Dapper Dad shirt, listener.
Call 4027-DAPPER. That's 4027-327-7737. And just, say something.
Talk to us a little bit.
Say something crazy. In the voicemail, we have a voicemail we'll play, which seems to have come. Well, we have 2 voicemails. One is a conundrum of nightmares that someone saw the phone number somewhere and didn't understand.
Just was very drunk or tripping balls and just decided to let us know. The other one is a
voicemail from when we tried to take live calls and you guys jammed up the lines real hard at the beginning and then no one followed through afterwards. So
a couple of people followed through.
Yeah, we got some people, a lot of calls that didn't make the cut for the recording. Sorry, we were just bombarded. We sat here for 3 hours taking calls and we really couldn't fit everything in.
Yeah, we kind of had to cherry pick what the best phone calls
so
were.
If you made it,
we appreciate everybody who did call in. We appreciate all your enthusiasm.
We just hate everyone who's called in and get through.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have one voicemail because someone did that, and we'll get to that. We got some other submissions because we didn't do any last time, which you can make an anonymous submission back at www.thedapperdads.com.
We're not anonymous.
Yeah, you can
reveal
tell
yourself
who you are if you want to do that.
We won't sell your personal information at first.
Yeah.
Eventually.
We'll sell anything we can get.
Yeah,
it's gotten to the point where people's actual t-shirt orders are using fake emails, which that's not what we want.
That's not what we wanted.
A lot of you I can contact, but yeah, if we don't know you super personal, or you don't contact us along with the shirt order and you put in a fake email and I need to get in touch with you, just know that that's not going to work out great
at all.
The fake email's for the website, so we don't
know
stalk
who you
on
are.
the internet.
We need real emails so we know who the fuck we're delivering product to.
Yeah.
I will just throw it out the window at a random location if I don't know who you are, and you will have to find it. And trust me, I am bad at remembering street names.
Yeah.
Remember that? It's the corner where Cole threw up that one time.
Yeah. All right, so we got 12 corners to narrow down.
12, that's being modest.
In town.
In Rockford, yeah.
Follow us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/dapperdads, where you pay $5 a month and you hear exotic tales from the future
and horrible forbidden information that will make you go blind, but will give you a superpower. It's random though, so I can't guarantee it's a good one.
Yeah, but I mean, if your life's boring, which it is,
you may get super strength.
Yeah,
you may get void
blind plus
knowledge.
Super strength makes you the best of villains.
Blind plus super strength makes you like a human wrecking ball.
Yeah, these are superpowers, but you're going to be a villain regardless of what you get.
And there's always a catch with it. It's like it's like needful things. Like you get to have super strength, but you can never get your dick up again.
Yeah, which makes and you're blind too because we hate you. You're
yeah,
always blind.
You're always gonna go blind, but you get a superpower.
Yeah,
so, for $5 a month.
Yeah, I mean, who else is giving you this kind of opportunity in life?
Nobody.
When God opens the window, he puts a sock on the doorknob because he's fucking in there. Follow us on Twitter at DapperDads, where you'll see things like that sometimes.
Yeah, literally that.
Shit that just flies out of our brains onto a platform we shouldn't be allowed to have.
No, we should definitely not be allowed to have Twitter.
Follow us on Instagram, where we have pictures of the same essence.
Sometimes evanescence.
Yeah, we wake up inside a lot because you're too drunk, and she's gonna be pissed that you fell asleep.
So mad.
It's gonna be a thing for
Then you said a bunch of things when you got drunk.
Yeah.
And you came home and your zipper was down, and she thought it's because you were fooling around at the bar, but it's literally because you had to piss outside, and like you just forgot to pull your fly back up. Yeah, like you just peed, so all your suspender straps are undone, and you look like a wild mess, and your hair's everywhere. Yeah. But it's literally just because you found a bunch of dogs to run with out backside of the Wendy's downtown, and you were running with the dog pack for a while till about 4, made a bond with the alpha male, so you guys have a very similar but very defiant respect of each other. You can run the dog pack when he's feeling down and low. When he's got to go take care of his literal bitch, you run with the dog pack. You run the things behind that Wendy's. You get the business taken care of. And your girl's going to be upset because you went out and made a new group of friends that she doesn't like.
She's always like, you should meet new people. You're so negative.
She's always like, you don't
go out enough. You got to put yourself out there more.
You're such a nice guy. Why don't you put yourself out there? You have a lot of talents. Why don't you put them to good use? So I start running a dog gang, and suddenly that's not exactly what you were talking about.
They come scratching at the door at 1 a.m. because I got to go, and I can't tell you because you're better off. That way you can't testify when things go south.
That way nothing will happen to you because you don't have any knowledge about what's happening on the inside of the dog squad.
And this is a conversation we have to have?
Yeah, and you're going to make this about you?
Yeah.
Now, when the dogs are at my door pawing and doing that weird howling thing dogs do when they want to come inside? I'm not letting them in our house. I don't want any plausible deniability for you and our newborn baby. You think I want the head of the dog mafia coming around here threatening my family? I don't want that. I'm just trying to run a nice little dog gang downtown, and you're making this about yourself, you stupid bitch. I can't believe this.
You are put always on the leather jacket. This is dog gang on the back.
On the back
2 G's.
Oh yeah, but then on the back is like a big patch of you and the dogs just like hugging and having a really good time. You and 3 other dogs recreating that Who album cover where they're sitting on the front steps there. Yeah, basically that.
You finally actually play poker with dogs. They're like, I knew it was a painting. I didn't know it would be this fun.
You do all like the stereotypical dog things in art throughout history. You let Richard Nixon pick you up by the ears and then take a picture with you because he hated that dog for some reason. Can you imagine having a president that hated dogs?
Yeah, I mean, it just shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
We just shouldn't have presidents.
No, we just shouldn't have anything.
Unless you want to vote for the Dapper Dads 2024. We were going to do 2020.
We were going to do 2020, but we really wanted to go up.
Guess what, baby? We procrastinated on something for the first time ever.
Wow, imagine that we procrastinated on something. We are going to be going up against Young Thug and Gunna 2024, so that's going to be a tough platform. But, you know, you
want to see Gunna's horrible outfits in the Oval Office.
Yeah, you want to see Gunna's horrible outfit, but Thugger's beautiful outfits. Yeah, imagine what he would wear on Inauguration Day. Like, the whole new essence to the White House.
Thing you'll ever see.
Can you imagine if we, okay, God forbid.
Remember the story that when I seen him when he got stuck in his hoodie and a man came
imagine him doing
imagine him. I forget that happens sometimes. I watch it in my head and it makes me so overjoyed. It's one of the few things I have in life.
That makes you happy.
Yeah.
Young Thug getting stuck in his hoodie on stage.
And just like we said probably when I told it, I just want that kind of stardom, power, respect, whatever it is, where if I get stuck in a hoodie, there's a man to come over and help me out of my hoodie.
That's specifically
I'm not
his
helping
job.
me out of my hoodie.
No.
Also, I'm in front of a sold-out show.
And I have too many chains on for the hoodie to come off properly. And it's got to be tight because I am so slim because I only eat once a month.
Yeah, and just drink lean.
What a beauty. What a beauty. I will vote for him for president in a heartbeat. Even if we're running against him on the bill, I'll vote for him.
Of course.
I secretly want to run against him just so he wins.
Yeah.
Because we'll look so bad by default.
Oh, yeah.
Look so bad by default.
We don't have any platforms. We don't have any ground to stand on.
Just Yelp singing a beautiful State of the Union address.
Speaking of shows, I saw T-Pain when you went to Dallas to do Dallas. Right? Slim does Dallas.
I went to Austin, but I did a swing through Dallas on the way there. So Slim does Dallas.
How many did Debbie do?
I don't think I've ever actually. I've never seen Debbie Does Dallas.
I watched like a clip of it online, but it didn't have the sex, and it just looked horrible.
Well, yeah,
but I think she does a football team, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
Something like that.
I mean, good for her.
So you had to do like the football team like through the whole like third, fourth string.
They do have the third largest stadium in the world in Austin, and I drove by it, and I was like, wow, that is a big Busch Light sign on that stadium.
So yeah, you were banging a bunch of dudes in Dallas briefly to get to Austin. Yeah, do you want to run through that?
Sure. So, made about a week-long excursion down to Austin, Texas. Never been that far south outside of like in that part of the country. I've driven through Florida, so I went through like Georgia and everything. But I'd never been through Arkansas before. And Arkansas is essentially Stillman Valley. If Stillman Valley was a whole state, it turns out, but just covered in rice fields. Whole lot of rice down there. Which I guess my mom was telling me about it later that cotton isn't as big down there as it used to be. Believe it or not. Let's stay on that trend.
Yeah.
And so to replace all the cotton fields, they started doing a bunch of rice. So a lot of the rice that you can get in the U.S. is like southern grown rice that you can get.
I love rice.
Like
I ate rice today.
Yeah, I have big things of rice at my house. It could have come from Arkansas.
Fuck that! I hate Arkansas.
I also hate Arkansas, and
sometimes you just gotta rock with what you just.
I mean, it's there's so much nothing in Arkansas.
Yeah. That's why I think it's interesting to drive around the U.S. Like I said, when I went to Florida, I had like ideas of what it would look like to drive through places. It all just looks the same.
It all just looks the same. Like sometimes
on a highway. And it's
sometimes there's more hills and like more elevation and like big dips in certain places than others, but like overall America just kind of looks the same.
Yeah, sometimes it's crazy that we made roads like that. When you drive over a certain shit, and you're like, so we just did this because this doesn't seem like this was the right
easiest
idea.
Course of action that we decided to do. Okay, in Austin they don't have winters. You know, like their winters get down to like 50, 60 degrees,
and they wear 6 coats.
Yeah, and they're like, Jesus Christ, it's cold around here. One of the dudes when I was down there, because everyone is so nice down there. Like, it's just,
seems wrong.
To my Rockfordian blood, it's very suspicious because it's like, you know, I mean, you just, random strangers are coming up and saying hi to you in the store.
Yeah, I hate it.
And like just having conversations with you. Like, and I wasn't even, like, we weren't even doing anything that was like super Austin-y, I guess, you know, because... Well, I mean, like, we were just helping my sister get her apartment set up. Yeah. So, like, we were going to, like, you know, the Walmart. And worst Walmart I've ever been to in my entire life. I will put, like, worse than the one you're thinking of. Like, it was so goddamn bad. All of their freezers were gone because they're, like, remodeling the store.
Oh, I thought you were just like, no, they don't need them.
No, they were just, like, there was a bunch missing from wall sections. And then, like, some of them were just, like, empty but plugged in. And then, like, the sections were walled off. And they didn't have natter days. And I got really mad at one point. But
started breaking things.
I wanted to. I might as well. That whole Walmart sucked. It was the only time someone was rude to me in Austin because was at the Walmart because Shocking. We were getting my sister was getting a TV and I guess this Walmart is like super high theft. They had something I'd never seen in my life called a
shotgun loaded and ready.
Yeah.
Why don't you try the new security?
They did have an ammo section.
Of course.
But
you weren't just handed a gun by being in Texas?
I wish. The second I crossed. We did the night before we got into Texas, we did stay in Hope, Arkansas, where Bill Clinton was born. And let me tell you, they let you know about it with a bunch of signs.
Is there a museum?
I think there might be, actually.
They recreate his birth regularly.
Regularly. They recreate the Monica Lewinsky incident.
Oh, yeah.
Regularly.
Different days, obviously.
Live
you don't want to
actors.
cross that over.
Yeah, right. You don't
Family Day, XXX Day.
Right. You got to go on the XXX Day. Some days Bill shows up playing saxophone looking real cool.
Yeah. Taking your mom.
You got to take your mom to the XXX nights. Let her know this is where Billy fucking Clinton was born.
You get to smell the cigar.
Oh, how nice would that be?
I mean, how long has that been? 20 years?
I mean, it can't be any worse than the cigars we got up there.
Those were not in women, so it could.
They could be.
20-year-old
Someday they
women,
could be.
Yeah. Call 4027 Dapper if you'd like our gently used cigars placed elegantly inside of you.
Elegantly,
we will not be
course.
doing it. We have an intern for this. He's a little fat boy.
We got I love our little fat boy intern. I love him so much.
I want to hug him, but he's so goddamn sweaty.
He's so sweaty, my fat little Post Malone wannabe. I love you. I'm just pinching his cheek. I love you so much. He's just taking it because he respects me. I love you so much.
Yeah. He keeps asking where his check is, and we're like, it's in the mail.
It's coming.
We nudge each other and laugh. And he's like, it feels like it's not.
No, we ran out of toner on the printer.
Yeah, we're nudging so hard. We both have bruised ribs.
Big bruises. We got to call in the next day, make him do everything there.
He's
got to record an episode.
Can you take us to the physician's immediate care? We don't go to hospitals. Yeah, all that nudging about lying about the check. I mean, no, hold on.
All that nudging.
Ow. Yeah, we're just kidding. Anyway, please, God, can you come pick us up? I've had a bruised rib. This feels more cracked. Either way, I can't breathe good.
Either way, I think something's puncturing something because I keep feeling a gurgle and it's not pneumonia in my lungs.
Slim's lung is totally punctured because he keeps taking fat jewel rips and they're coming out of his chest. So if you could get,
making bad noises.
Oh, so you got to rent a van.
What's up, guys?
I got a bruised rib.
Thanks, little fat boy. You're my hero.
I got a bruised rib from one of my friends slamming me on the sidewalk in Madison, and it was a nightmare for months.
Yeah, because you go to take a big breath and everything just hurts.
Yeah.
You don't realize how much that shit actually moves around inside your body until you have to start moving your body around.
Oh, yeah. And it was one of those where I didn't remember the exact situation happening. It was like 3 a.m. We stopped on a street corner to watch a guy play guitar, and I was like turned away smoking a cigarette, and then I was just up in the air. He's like your height, or you've met him briefly once. And I was just up in the air, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And he just slammed me on the ground, and I was like, what the fuck? And then he picked me up, and he slammed me again. And I was like, why is this? And then I said, are we fighting? And he picked me up and slammed me again. And I was like, do I have to fight you? And he's like, no, I'm just fucking with you. And I was like, no, why?
Yeah.
And then I woke up the next day, and I was laying, and I opened my eyes, and I took a breath, and I was like, oh my God, is this it? Is this it? And I was like, did I smoke too many cigarettes?
How many mornings like that have you had?
Not like that. I have them where I'm like, oh, but I don't have them where I'm like, what is going on? And I remember I ran, and there was like 6 steps down something, 6 concrete steps, and I was drunk, and I did a full run and jumped over them, and I landed real hard, and it like shocks your knees.
And then I was like,
yeah, well, no, I did this the night before because I woke up and I was like, was it that? At first I was like, did I smoke so many cigarettes I can't breathe right anymore?
It happens.
And then I was like, oh, it was from me jumping down the stairs. And then I was like, oh, it was from me being thrown onto the sidewalk 3 times in a row for absolutely no reason.
When I was a young teenager, I want to say like 13, 14, I was at this concert like somewhere downtown. It was like just a super small little like metal show. And so there was moshing, obviously, and so we're all like shoving. And I was obviously the biggest guy there because I've always been huge. I've always been monstrous. And
this was just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, this was 2 weeks ago. And so I was like, shoving, moshing, having a good time. And this guy comes up from behind me and picks me up and throws me onto my back as hard as he can. And everybody got really defensive about it. It was a really nice moment, actually, because everybody's like, what the fuck, man? We're just having a good time. And like, they just started like shoving him away, like, get away. And then like people are helping me up. They're like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I just got the wind knocked out of me at a Christian metal show.
Someone did that to me in, I think, like middle school. We were like, all of my schools had these weird like gym areas. We had like gyms, and then we had like little basement rooms that you would do whatever in.
Yeah.
And we were like walking out, and the kid was just picking people up and like suplexing them. And I was just like walking
out. It's a bold move.
Yeah, and it was just like everyone was cool with it. And then I was walking, because the worst thing, and it's like when I got my ribs bruised, you're just like not paying attention, and someone picks you up, and you're like, wait, what is this feeling?
Suddenly you're off the ground. And then he like
suplexed me, and it was the first time I ever had the wind knocked out of me, and I was on the ground. I was like, am I paralyzed now?
Yeah, the first time I ever had the wind knocked out of me, I was, because I obviously grew fast, so like keeping pants and shoes for me were always like a new set every month or something.
You were always naked from the waist down.
Purposefully.
Yeah.
And so my mom had gotten me these sandals that were like a size too big. I think, and she was like, "You'll grow into them. Trust me, it's fine.
Give it 42 hours, and you'll outgrow them."
And so I think I might have been in like 4th or 5th grade, and I was running around on the playground, and so I'm running in these giant flip-flops, flap, 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 and
scaring all the other children.
That was without
and
the flip-flops. So that was just everyone. When I was a kid, I was always the one they wanted to do the push on the tire swing at recess, because I could get it like spinning real hard and get it way up. And then I was told I had to stop because I eventually was like getting it like almost all the way.
You have to stop about almost every activity
you are not
dabbled in.
lying, and that is not an overstatement. And if you're listening to this, you need to know that's true. But I was and it was like wood chips on the ground for the play, because this was an old school playground, you know, back when they had the arsenic treated wood, and they were like,
you jump off the top and those like go into your skin.
Oh
like,
God, I got so many splinters in my ass, and then they tore that.
Well, that was a different thing.
Yeah, well, they tore that playground down, and they built like a crappy plastic looking one, because they were like, oh, it's the arsenic in the wood. A kid could get a splinter and get poisoned. I was like, I think I had 17 splinters in my ass in 5 years, and I'm just fine. So I started itching real hard everywhere. I've got bugs in my skin, and threads show up in my muscles all the time. It feels like bugs constantly. I have to take pills for it.
Oh, I hate that, because that happens to me sometimes.
Where you feel like you got bugs underneath your skin? Yeah.
Like a crackhead or something.
You're just sitting there scratching at your chest, and you don't have an undershirt on, so you're just scratching your bare chest through a t-shirt. And then
or it happens on my neck real bad, and I'm like...
at a bar by myself. The neck scratching is what makes you look like a crack addict.
For sure.
Any type of pick.
I tried doing crack just to see if it's a similar feeling.
It is not.
There.
Yeah, crack is
way different.
Way more extreme. So many bugs.
Fun.
So many more bugs.
Yeah.
But so I'm like running on wood chips in these sandals that are a size too big for me, and I like tripped, and it was like, you know, like those old school like tire stairs they used to have on playgrounds. I tripped and fell into those, but my gut hit like the wood barrier in front of them, so it was just all the air out. And so I like sat up and I was like, I'm just looking at other kids. I'm like,
I need an adult.
Well, and like then one of the playground, like, because you know we were young enough, we saw like the
monitors,
the monitors, And so she came over and she's like, I saw that whole thing happen. Are you okay? And I'm like,
she still tells that story. You were squeaky for 6 months.
I had to sit down on a bench for like 15 minutes to try to get my air back, because I was like, this is how I thought I was dying. Because like I had never...
The first time you experienced things?
I wasn't even familiar with the concept of getting the wind knocked out of you. So the fact that it happened to me...
Back when everything was so innocent that you didn't know all the wind, air in your body can just
be gone all of a sudden. I'm like...
Like getting hit in the nuts for the first time.
Oh my God, yeah.
Wait, what?
I remember the first time I got hit in the nuts, some kid was like, can I kick you in the nuts? And I was like,
like,
sure, why not? Yeah, I was like, go ahead, baby.
Please do.
Did it. I remember it was a real 90s looking kid, like big baggy black shorts, like Eminem t-shirt.
And his shoes lit up.
Yeah, kicked me in the nuts, and I was like, just lots of squeaking as a kid.
Yeah, from all the injuries.
But like, yeah, the monitor sat down with me, and she's like, you got the wind knocked out of you. And I'm like, like I'm like trying to understand. We're going.
She's like, shut the fuck up.
Just stop. Do I gotta punch you with a knife in the ribs to make you breathe? You stupid idiot.
She had to give you mouth to mouth to fill up your lungs again.
I needed something. Jesus, bring me an oxygen mask. If I ever get the wind. If I ever get the wind knocked out of me again, I'm just gonna put a bullet in my brain.
See, that's what we need is that young thug level of stardom where we get the wind knocked out of us and someone brings over an oxygen tank and puts it on us and sits us in a wheelchair.
But then puts a mic right up next to it, so with the beat still going hard. But we're like,
they're like, record this, it'll be a Patreon exclusive.
I can my dick on a plate and anything all her hair in.
Yeah, you can't even do the ad libs.
You're having 100 at the beginning, Gary. That's going to be weird ASMR for someone listening to this, and they're going to be like, I found my audio kink.
Yeah, that's going to be what turns people off on episode 100.
Yeah, that's what makes people
just
finally turn us off.
The first time.
Can you imagine hopping in on 101? Like being like, well, the first 100 had to be
the Dalmatian
shit.
Episode.
Yeah, the 101.
I hope they talk about Cruella DeVille's long cigarette thing.
I hope that guy does the song about Cruella DeVille halfway through, and it sounds like it's an advertisement, but he's just singing and playing a little piano down there. But it's one of those cat pianos, so it's like, meow, 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 meow.
Keyboard available at Target for the past like 12 years.
For some reason.
And I know I've never seen anyone have one.
What?
In life.
So I was playing around with one recently because I found one in real life and I was like, hot dog. And so I'm like messing around with it. And then I thought the batteries were dying in it because I was like, there's like preset music you can play on there with a voice sometimes that like sings along while you play along.
It's like,
and it was like, and I was like, what the fuck?
Spread the blood of the innocent.
And I was like, whoa, somebody's been doing some pre-recording on this thing. Get out of here, death. And but then I found it has like a slow down thing to make it slower to learn how to play along.
Chopped and screwed kitty keyboard.
Yeah, it chops and screws up the kitty keyboard because it'll be like, but then you like go, how much for that doggy in the window? Which I think is a weird song to have. Which I think is a weird song to have on a cat keyboard. How much for that doggy in the window? Oh God, that fucking cat keyboard haunts
I
my
only
memories.
know right off the top of my head how to play Lean on Me on a keyboard because I learned it from a skate video when I was a teenager. So it'd just be like meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. And someone would be like, could you please help me find? And I'd be like, meow, 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 meow. And they're like, meow, 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 meow. Hard eye contact with them. And I'm like, kitty keyboard, $25 for some reason, but trust me,
you can make a whole album based off the samples on this thing.
It'll pay itself
Platinum with no features. Trust me.
Yeah.
Just you and kitty keyboard. Just buy it, please. I've been told I have to push the kitty keyboards because no one's buying them. Or they buy them and they return them because they're so horrified. Because what it does is if you just leave it on every 15 minutes, it just goes meow to remind you that it's still on and you have to go turn the batteries off. So you're just sitting there watching scary videos at night and then you hear meow coming from the other room and you've only got one cat.
It's like a smoke detector. Can we make a kitty smoke detector? Just like a fire. It's just like
meow, 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 meow. House is on fire. Meow, 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 meow.
And then when the battery dies, it's just like, meow. Like, what the fuck was that?
It's like one of those house alarm, like the carbon monoxide detectors in your house where it's like, chirp.
Yeah.
Like when you stay over at somebody's house and you don't realize they have one of those things. And you're trying to take a nap in the middle of the afternoon because that's just what you're doing at that house. But you just keep hearing a chirp because it's right outside the window for some reason.
And you're like, is this carbon monoxide poisoning? Because at this point,
is this your life? Do you just live with this? Can you drown out that noise? No, then they tell you, no, I never get used to it. Oh my God. So you don't just take the batteries out?
It's because I grew up on a busy street and every other house since I've lived there cannot compare with the average level of street noise I need to function. It's because I grew up in New York City and every night there was a homeless man that would bang against the trash can going, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. And now I can't fall asleep properly without that. I haven't had a good night's sleep in years. Yeah. And I never got to fuck that guy.
No, I never got to fuck that guy, but I'm pretty sure he fucked that trash can a lot. Or fucked things in the trash can.
Craigslist missing connection. I'm looking for the guy that beat on a trash can yelling "fuck me" in a New York City alley.
Craigslist missed opportunity. Looking for the trash can I fucked for 4 years before the people moved.
Oh, it's the perfect. They finally got reconnected. Reunited, and it feels so good.
Throw that on 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, I would welcome it.
This is just,
a lot of those people are trash cans.
This is
you want to talk about?
This is Cheryl, my trash can. He's got big googly eyes on it, and
huge boobs,
and a flashlight taped to the front of it where the nose
they
should
like
be.
Put the hole in the trash can so it like holds itself in there, and he's got it's a weird angle of like an average size trash can, so he's got to kind of dunk down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But I mean,
like a metal bassist, and just put his.
But I mean, like he's still getting it. Sometimes you see him like lay the trash can down. He's doing like a bow-kneed horse riding thing over the top of it, while really
like,
just going
to town. Is he proposing to that? No, he's.
Is he? Oh no, he's mounting it. He's putting it on top. All right, he's getting garbage juice all over him.
Reverse cowgirl. You're like, well, this I'm gonna watch a little bit longer because I don't think I'll be able to do this.
Oh my God,
he's able to do it.
So he did the cowgirl first, and he got the garbage juice all over him. Now he's covered in garbage, but now he does the reverse cowgirl. Logistically, it makes more sense to do reverse cowgirl first while it keeps slipping out, because you know how reverse cowgirl goes, and let all the trash fall out, and then spin the can around and just get some of the juice in your face like you're getting spit on. You see?
Of course, spit on with garbage juice.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're homeless, you take what you can get. If you're homeless and you have somehow managed to make a sex doll out of a trash can, you take what you can get.
I would like to think people stop throwing trash in my wife. I mean,
I mean,
I'm not
no one's
awake
gonna
all the time. I'm sleeping 20 hours a
You
day.
come back to the bum camp, you find somebody else sleeping with your trash can wife.
Whore.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you just smash the trash can up, or do you like rinse it out and then reuse it? Do you start?
I beat him with her.
Ooh, and then you fuck her in like a rage revenge fuck kind of thing. He's like putting dents in the side of the trash can, but then he's like stroking it and apologizing afterwards. Really toxic person. You can see part of why he's homeless.
Yeah, you can see how he did this.
You can see why he might be alone by himself on the streets.
It happens.
It happens to the best of us.
What were we talking about at some point?
We were talking about me going to Texas.
All right, back to Texas.
And
just a quick detour.
Just a quick detour into fucking
That's the
trash
podcast.
Can.
It's a quick detour, but we always stay on the road.
I was told by somebody who listened to the podcast that sometimes they have a hard time getting through it because we'll make a point about something. But then we'll never get back to it.
See, I've been told we remarkably get back to things. One of the things people tell me the most is they don't understand how we can just go on such a left field tangent and then like hop right back in.
It's just how we do it, baby.
Yeah, that's literally how my life is. Have a conversation with me over a couple of beers and see where the fuck it goes.
You want to think this shit's wild. Picture us on a one-on-one environment.
Yeah, unfiltered.
The two of us have a tendency to get into an environment where people want to beat one of our asses because of how much we talk.
Do we? Can we be a little bit more specific?
Recently?
A little bit more specific. Oh, yeah. Well, fuck that guy. I wish it would have happened.
I wish it would have happened, too. Yeah, he's very lucky
to get into an altercation and just point out someone's clothes. He kept calling me jorts.
Yeah.
Which I just love.
Which is like, because that's the ammo he brought to, that's the knife he brought to this gunfight. Yeah. Because here's something you guys got
in like that, too.
Here's something you guys got to understand about me and Drama together. We're a team. Yeah. At the end of the day, we will tag team the shit out of you, and we mean that in every contextual way that it can possibly be taken. You don't fuck with, and especially if the whole squad's together, then you got 4 people you're going up against. But like me and Drama do this for fun. Like we talk shit for fun.
Yeah. Also, people are like, don't talk shit if you're gonna be sensitive.
That's like the thing. And that's
I grew up like
that's this. That's a pro dad tip for all you out there. Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk. That's all there's to it. If you want to show up coming in hot, dressed like a highlighter, talking shit.
And also, my favorite thing, and it was solidified that night because people were like, stop, is when like any sort of altercation happens and I feel like it could get to a fight and you see them like staring at you, I'll never blink again. I'll let my eyes crust over because I will not
like
look
that
away
weird
from
scene
you.
on The Simpsons.
Yeah, literally. We can do like a Clockwork Orange thing. I'm not looking away from you. If you stare at me and it's slightly aggressive, even if we haven't spoken before, as a man, I cannot let myself.
As a man in a Rockfordian, we cannot let hard stares go.
So I will look at you to the point where people are like, stop, and they're like, no.
They started.
Keep looking, and I'll hold conversations. I'll hold my dick. I'll take a piss right in front of us.
I'll take a piss, whip my dick out in full frontal in front of you.
I'll drink a whole beer because I've had it when I was getting kicked out of a bar one time, chugging a beer while you're just staring at the bouncer in his eyes while you drink your whole drink because you're being asked to leave. Like, or you throw him, whatever.
Yeah, either or. It's a very divisive issue. Yeah. It's never a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. You don't drink half the drink and throw the other half. You're either in it or you're out.
I'm going to throw a half full can, or I'm going to chuck a full can and just pay too much money for it.
Yeah, way too much money for it.
Figure out what happens later.
In retrospect.
So
Texas, the whole point of that is
that person who can't follow along is like, fuck.
God damn it. What are they doing?
Please stop.
But yeah, the moral of that story is don't talk shit to us because you will lose. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, just like, I like roasting people. It's fun.
It's fun.
And I didn't.
And that was my thing. I thought I was just just having fun.
When I was told we had took it too far, I was like, oh my God, they don't know what we're capable of.
Yeah, I was like,
take it even further. You know.
I was like, I've been giving you a 2 out of 10 with a bunch of light jabs. Yeah, like, if you want me to go for the gut, I'll do it.
When you raise your voice and someone's like, don't yell at me, and you're like, okay, now I'm going to show you what the yelling is. Because I need you to understand what we were working at over here was fine, and you made it weird, so now I'm going to get crazy.
Now I'm going to make it worse because you have put in a formal request, stamped, notarized, written out paperwork, big stack filed, that you want to take this further. Yeah, and now I'm legally obliged to do it.
Yeah, I got to do it.
And now I'm screaming. My voice is getting louder with every syllable. Yeah. And my tone keeps going up.
And when my voice cracks, I'm going to be even more upset.
Because it makes me feel feminine or prepubescent. I'm a goddamn man, goddamn it.
I'm real angry, so my voice is getting shaky and my eyes are getting full of tears for some reason because I'm so angry.
Also, don't talk shit to me if you have a squirrely little feminine voice. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, we could go on.
For days about this.
Yeah, just be an adult.
So I spent a week down in Texas helping my sister move down there. She got her dream job, moved her into her apartment, new apartment building, which is a concept I was unfamiliar with. They finished building it months prior to her moving in. So she was the first person to live in the unit. Everything smelled brand new. Like everything was brand new.
Until you slept in it.
And I didn't even, because I thought we were just going to crash there to like save money. But
so she knew.
Well, no,
you can't get that stink out.
No,
yeah.
My mom ended up getting me and her a very nice Hilton Honors suite room in a hotel.
Should have put my points on it.
Oh, well, I even told her, I was like,
because they want you to get so many points in such a small amount of time, and then they email you your points are expiring, and it's like, I don't need a hotel right now.
Well, and I told her, I was like, I'm pretty sure we got some Hilton Honors points we can use. She goes, no, don't worry, I have Hilton. She has one of the Hilton Honors cards that she uses.
So she gets the preferred parking.
Right? Yeah.
They give her
the
room that you asked for.
Well, the room we stayed in made the room we stay in look like shit because this one had like a full kitchen setup, pots and pans, a dishwasher, a refrigerator where you can
person who washed your dishes.
Yeah. Well, apparently, even if you just leave one glass out, they will run the dishwasher. Even if you leave one thing out, they have a grocery list on the fridge where if you write down groceries you need, they will go get them for you.
Jesus.
And just add it to your hotel bill. A whole separate living room area, like separate closed off bathroom, like everything, like nicest hotel room I've ever stayed in.
Well, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
This brand is gonna carry us to couple Motel 6s.
Tippity toppity, the ippity oppity?
No, we'll never be in a nice hotel.
The bibbity bottom of the ippity autumn?
Yeah, something like that.
Better.
Something in between.
I feel better about that. I'm a real run of the mill, middle of the road kind of guy.
Oh, I know.
A middle child, if you will.
You shouldn't be allowed to be in nice places, just like me.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're not allowed to
feel
be
uncomfortable.
I felt very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I felt uncomfortable going down for the breakfast, which was much nicer than the breakfast.
Assholes, right? You got to eat an asshole?
Yeah, literal asshole. They had a whole row of beautiful, delicious, bleached female assholes that I was allowed to eat.
Pressing your finger against and tasting it. Not that one. Maybe tomorrow morning if she's still around.
Do you have any more of the salted caramel sauce for the waffle bar left? This could use just a hint of something.
This one's a little too ripe. I'll come around when it gets a little brown like a banana.
Could we leave it out in the sun for about an hour or two, and then I'll come back and just eat the shit out of it? It's just a
parking space of a person just bent over, touching their toes with their asshole in the sun. Like, oh yeah, that's getting nice and warm.
Just going out there, frying an egg on their ass. Their pasty white ass.
Perfectly cracking it on an anus. Delicious.
Got to do it one-handed. Yeah. Because then you're like a chef.
Yep. And then you throw them away.
Then you throw the egg out in the parking lot. So you know how Chicago has pigeons? Texas has grackles.
Has what?
Grackles, which is like a very large, aggressive crow. Like picture a crow if it was more aggressive.
Are you sure Texas has it, or you just didn't make some enemies on your trip and they followed you?
I watched one of these birds eat a piece of pizza out of a Domino's parking lot. It was terrifying. Overall, it's just way too goddamn hot down there. The maintenance guy that was helping put in the internet was telling us that last year, that part of Texas had 100 days over 100 degrees that was over 50% humidity.
That's 99 days too many.
Yeah, that's a couple days. That's like more than 7 is too many of that. Like, it is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'd only want one day of that.
It's like, and I didn't even realize until like a couple of days ago how dehydrated I was the entire trip.
Oh yeah.
Because it was 23 hours driving there with like stops and everything like that. Did 14 hours the first day.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it the second day left at like
waking up that second day to continue your travels.
It is awful.
You can't do this.
Well, because
that's how people go fucking crazy.
Well, yeah, and that's because it was like, okay, we got to do like 7.5 more hours today, and that's not without gas, stopping for food, things like that. And so we left at like 8 a.m, and the GPS is like, you'll get there at about 4 p.m.
I know, I hate.
And I'm like, I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense. We'll be there sooner than that, without realizing how goddamn large Texas is, because I'd never been there. Also their pest animals they have a lot down there are armadillos wandering out into the road, like how we have raccoons.
You should have got one.
I wanted to, but the only one I saw was a dead one that was hit on the highway, because they got 8 lanes of highway down there. And because
5 lanes too many.
And because it doesn't get snow down there, they have those stacked highways, and those shits terrified me, because like I don't like heights anyway.
Yeah.
And so like being up on those things was just a goddamn shit show.
That's what I've been terrified that we're going at the cabin 1 week from today as of recording.
Leaving today as of release.
Yeah, as if you're listening the day it comes out, we're on our way to the cabin and we'll be having a time.
A grand old time.
But like some of that shit, remember when you just drive up to that one point and it's just a cliff and it ends and you can pull over and look over the cliff?
Yeah.
And I was like,
what's stopping me from just driving over this?
I was of course thinking that, but I started to get so lightheaded. Like when we got to the cabin, I felt sick.
Because it's just a bunch of dips and hills and stuff like that.
And it's crazy. That big bridge, and I feel like I got to close my eyes, but I'm driving.
Close it if you bad.
I did.
The only real takeaway I had, because a lot of it was just like, so we drove for 22 hours, and then I immediately started unloading a moving truck right after that. So imagine sitting on your ass for 22 hours and then doing a bunch of manual labor.
Yeah.
And then the next day, had to finish unloading the truck because I got about halfway through, and I was like, I literally can't do any more of this. I was like, I thought I would have more energy, but after just sitting on my ass for so long, but I was just like, no, I can't do this. So got everything in on the second day, and then a lot of my day was just, we were just like driving around to places to get her things she needed, you know? And so like a lot of it was me just carrying a bunch of shit the entire trip. And like, you know me, normally I'm pissing everywhere, you know? I was taking like 2 pisses a day, and they were like thick and yellow no matter how much I was drinking.
Juicy.
Well, because a lot of one of the big cultural things they have in Austin is like food trucks. Like that's the thing to do down there is do food trucks. And they have specifically like vegan food truck areas where it's like 5 or 6 different trucks. So me and my sister would pull up and get like, you know, 5 different things from 5 different trucks, be sitting there for an hour waiting for it all to come out. Found a really awesome, it was a anarchist punk feminist black metal bakery.
It's too many things.
It was a lot of things, but they had all of their products were like punk jokes and stuff like that. And the best one they had is they had a dessert item called leftover crack, which was all of the like frosting and end pieces from the cake that they couldn't use, and they just shove it in a container. And even the girl who was working, she was like, I can't even eat the leftover crack because it's just so much goddamn frosting sometimes. I'm like, yeah, you really shouldn't be eating leftover crack. Yeah, because they just refer to it like a product.
At the end of Atheist Anthem by Leftover Crack, it's just a sample. They have like a lot of like different random samples that are great, and just some guy going, man, there ain't no such thing as leftover crack. Word. And then it goes to the next song.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, everyone is exceptionally nice. I couldn't say like, and it wasn't even, to me, it was suspicious just because of where we're from, you know, but like
it's wrong and unhealthy.
It's wrong and unhealthy, but actual genuinely nice people that don't want anything out of you except to like just stop and have a conversation because like it happened. You know? I don't have time for, I realize everybody walks so goddamn slow down there.
Today, just to interject quickly, possibly my favorite thing with driving is when someone is going so slow and you ride their ass that they pull over to let you go and then they get back on the road. This happened. I was going behind someone 35 run-of-the-mill road. They were going like 12 and then they went through a light and it was yellow while they were going through, and I'm like, I'm not sitting here because of you. And it turned red, and I mean, like, I'll get so close that people are riding with me are like, you need to get away from the car, and I'm like, I know what I'm doing. And then the lady pulled over and looked so crazy, and it's like the second time in my life I've made on a regular road, because I'll do it on the highway all the time.
Oh,
get
yeah,
out of that
not.
left lane, fuck you. But on a regular run-of-the-mill road, when you have to like basically park to get out of my way, I feel like an unstoppable god.
As you should, sir. That's the only way to do it. So a lot of it was just like going around the general area of Austin. Their main store down there is called HEB. Don't call it Heb because people get mad.
On the last episode. They made the cut.
Yeah, thank God. I was gonna say we said a lot on the last episode.
A lot of things didn't make the cut.
A lot of things didn't make the cut. A whole lot of things.
Way easier to edit than I anticipated.
There wasn't anything like super crazy. I did have the best vegan meal I've ever had in my life at this it was like a high-end vegan eatery that they had called the Beer Plant. It was one with like 150 different beers, and none of them looked appetizing. I just ended up getting mixed drinks because I was like, these at least look interesting. The first one I had was the most awful mixed drink I had in my entire life.
Wow.
It had celery bitters in it. Have you ever even heard
I've heard of that.
I've never even heard of celery bitters.
It shouldn't exist.
And then they put a smoked lime in it. They like,
because this is people trying to be too fancy,
and that's what I was like.
Make a mixed drink.
I was like, because then the next thing I ordered, it was essentially a Moscow Mule, but they had like fresh lavender sprigs in it, and like I love a good Moscow Mule.
I hate them.
See, I like them because they go down smooth. You know, I like vodka. Vodka's my preferred like alcohol.
I just don't like the taste of like the ginger beer or whatever.
See, I was a fan of it. I ended up drinking 2 of those, but I had to like choke down the first one because I was like, this shit's is $11. I got to drink. It was a high end place.
I know.
And so, of course, another fucking stupid Illinois thing that happened to me is, I had to show my ID. And you guys like, oh, Illinois, I got family in Peoria up there. And so one of the menu items they had was a Chicago-style Italian beef. And so I'm like, okay, let's see how they do it down in Texas, see if it's any good. And it was shockingly the best vegan Italian beef I've ever had in my life. Like, they had, like, the right kind of bread. Yeah. They had hot giardiniera. Is that how you pronounce it?
I thought it was like Jardine.
Whatever it is, the spicy pepper mix. Yeah, they had that on there. Everything. It was so good. I forgot that some of the shit I was eating wasn't vegan. Like, that's how like high end and good that it was. They also have a all vegan grocery store called Rabbit Food, very adjacent to it.
Sounds about right.
And it's just a tiny little store.
Just rabbit food.
Yeah, it's just rabbit food, just pellets. And
I got real addicted to pellets. You're just eating them like me eating peanuts when I'm driving my car around.
And then little poo pellets everywhere because they just let rabbits roam free. Rabbits run the store. It's crazy. Keep Austin weird.
Are we talking like a Bugs Bunny, or are we talking like a
the size of Bugs Bunny, but still rabbits?
Okay,
just
interesting.
Big.
I seen one of those at a fair
over.
one time. So big it was.
When I was at the airport to fly back, somebody was holding a rabbit in their lap, like a big rabbit.
I read about this.
It's just a big rabbit, and I'm just staring at them because I'm like, "Are you gonna bring that rabbit on the plane?"
It's a comfort animal. You can bring whatever comfort animal you want.
I guess it was because like
I've got a falcon, and I'll take the hat off right when we reach maximum altitude.
I've got a.
Pissed. It shouldn't be that high.
Loud.
Yeah.
So loud.
I'm like, could someone shut that baby up? They're like, shut your falcon up. I'm like, you made a big mistake, buddy. Get him. And then it attacks me. I haven't figured out the kinks yet. Land the plane. Land the plane.
Emergency
I just remembered
landing.
I'm terrified of flying. The comfort animal's not on me anymore. I'm scared.
The comfort animal's not comforting anymore.
No, it's quite the opposite, actually.
It's making it worse.
Gouge my eyes out so I have no sense of what's happening.
Man, seeing Chicago from the air was crazy.
Yeah, talk about flying.
Oh,
God. When was the last time you flew?
I was 15 the last time I flew.
Yeah, so like 30 years ago.
Yeah, about 30, 45 years ago, somewhere in there doing the math.
30, 45.
It's a rough estimate.
I love when people are like, yeah, it was like a little bit ago, like 7 or 6 years ago. Just how that hits your ear when people don't go like 6 or 7. They go 7 or 6. And you're like, well, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
That's a whole year of reference in here that I may not know about.
Just the
juxtaposition of flipping it around.
6 and 7 or 7 or 6. It's like, no,
it's between 9 and 7 years ago.
It's like whoever has the joke about like the phone number, how you say the phone number in like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4. You don't go like 4027 327 737 because you're just
that person's a psychopath. Whoever does that is a guy. What is this, a Norwegian phone number I gotta call?
We only know one way of saying this thing. You can't just throw it out there like that.
I don't know.
That's too many numbers.
I thought everybody said chugga chugga choo choo the same way till we started discussing it.
No.
Turns out I am deathly afraid of flying. Because
everyone should be.
Because at first I was like, I've flown before, so I kind of know what to expect. I completely forgot what flying was like after so many years ago. Because
I'm also terrified of the airport because I don't like anxiety-filled nightmares.
It was an anxiety.
You don't know what you're doing, and other people do, and they're like that shit. That's what I try to tell people too. Like, even if I could work up to get on the plane, you got to go through all this shit. I've never done it. It's crazy.
Okay, so what you got to do is first you got to go in and you got to check your bag if you have a check bag. So
see, I don't even. Yeah.
So there's a carry-on and a check bag. Your carry-on is like your big luggage.
Yeah.
The check is the big one. Carry-on's like small.
Yeah.
So I had my backpack for a carry-on, so I could have like my headphones, a book to read, stuff like that. Didn't even get to any reading or listening to music because
you were sobbing.
Well, because for some reason the Wi-Fi on the plane wouldn't work on my phone.
Are you sure the Wi-Fi didn't work, or it was blocking xxxxxnxxxxx.com?
Listen, I don't know why.
That's the unfiltered one. You should never look at unfiltered. Because I
even thought I was like, I should maybe download my playlist while I'm at my sister's on the Wi-Fi so I can listen to it on the plane.
Yeah.
But then my mom was like, they got Wi-Fi on planes now. It's crazy. Welcome to the future. And I was like, sweet. So I could at least like check my Facebook and stuff. Nothing works that high up in the air, apparently. The Wi-Fi didn't work, so I couldn't listen to anything, couldn't stream anything.
God.
The only thing I could do is watch, like, the in-flight TV, which, bless my mom, she paid to get extra leg room for
I was
me.
gonna say,
like
I pictured you on a plane.
Like she got seats that had extra leg room just so I could be comfortable, but they're so narrow. Like even with all the weight I've lost, like it's still like super narrow just for my build.
Yeah,
you know.
I sat in a fake plane in a museum. Like it's a real plane, but it's in it for some reason. I don't remember where or why. Yeah. But yeah, when I sat in it, I was like, well, and also this is how you live in this. Just
oh my god. Yeah, no, I was so cramped up. And
how long was the flight?
About a little over 2.5 hours. And bad, I actually passed out from the panic attack.
Perfect.
Because like I'm sitting there and like they're going through like the safety video and they're like the life vest is under your sink, oxygen mask will drop down. This
I have
blah,
insane
blah.
anxiety right now just even hearing.
Well, and then because the flight was delayed, which is why we weren't able to record episode 100 when we had initially scheduled
God
it.
tried to stop us.
God tried to stop us, but even God can't stop us, baby.
I know I was gonna make a bunch of jokes, and I was like, "What if I do?" And then the plane goes down somehow, and I finally angered him enough.
Yeah,
I killed Slim.
It'll happen eventually. Yeah. You're gonna piss off God, and He's gonna kill me just to show you what's up.
Makes sense.
Show you He's an angry God.
A vengeful God.
But and so like we're sitting there on the tarmac, and I'm already very nervous, you know, because what you do? Well, okay, so first you got to check your bag.
Yeah.
Then you got to go through the interrogation, basically.
Yeah, TSA.
You have to take your shoes off, put them in a bucket, put your bag in a bucket.
See, I hate even the bucket shit. I had to do that to go on the where the fuck was I? Universal Studios. And I'm like, oh, I hate when you're not prepped for things.
Right.
And then they're just like,
happens.
and that's what I mean. So many people know what they're doing, so they're doing it effortlessly. And I'm like, what do I got? I got to take out everything, or I don't have to take out some shit? It's going to be a metal detector, and then
like if it was just me, I would have probably been flagged because like I had no idea what I was doing. Because when we're driving up to the airport, my mom's like, okay, so when we get to the TSA, you have to let them know you have a pacemaker because they'll like scan you and they'll find metal in your chest and they'll be like, we gotta anally search this guy over here.
And you're like, yeah.
And so,
oh yeah, I guess so.
I was like, finally,
sir, are you gaping already?
Are you gaping?
Like, sorry, I got really excited.
Sorry, it was about an hour before we had to get on the flight. So you're not even in the waiting area. Yeah, but like I had some free time. The flight was delayed and I was already here, so I figured, you know what, might as well go check out that famous airport glory hole I've heard so much about. And I just,
sir, there's no holes anywhere.
Well, I made one and I just puckered my butt up against it. Really.
Let me tell you, people were begging.
Let me tell you, people were excited because they must have heard the same stories I did. Bunch of people putting their mouths up to my ass in the glory hole expecting things. I was like, no, this isn't what I want.
The wrong way, not a dick, it's an asshole.
And so I'm going through TSA and like they check everything, and then I have to go into a giant full body machine because you have to let them know I have a medical device implanted.
It's a bomb.
That's what's gonna go. So like it will set off a metal detector. So they're like, all right, step in this thing. You have to step in this huge machine with foot placers on it, and then you have to like put your arms up like this, and it scans you. And then you step out, and it shows you a scan of your body, and it shows you where metal is in your body.
And yours was just really black in the
it was just really black to the heart, and then just big white hot red like right next to it. And so the guy's like. And so the guy, he's like, I'm going to have to pat you down. And I was like, just so you know, you're going to feel a bulge right here in my chest. It is a pacemaker. Take a look at the pictures. And so, but it was like the easiest pat down I've ever had. Like he literally just took the back of his hands, patted around my chest, patted around my sides. And he was like, honked my balls a lot to the point where they were bruised. And
that's what they say about TSA. They'll bruise your balls.
They will bruise you. They're ball busters down at that TSA. And so got through that, and then airports are just a fucking nightmare. Like if the idea of you being on a plane is giving you anxiety, the airport will give you so much more because there's like 32 gates.
Yeah, that's
that
what
are taking up.
Everything about it.
It's an international airport, so it's like 32 different gates you can take off from. We get out, and it's like we're at gate 25, and it's like gate 7 where like you come out of the TSA, so it's like a quarter-mile walk down there, and they've got everything for sale at the airport. They've got so many different stores. They have a food court at the airport. They have like stations where you can like charge your stuff. They have a vending machine where you can buy Beats headphones out of it and like other high-end electronics. They have one of those stupid fucking what's the acne thing you always see for commercials on TV? Proactive.
Yeah.
They got a Proactive thing.
I've seen that.
They have a vending machine with makeup in it, like makeup palettes and everything. And then like another one.
You better look good when I come to pick you up. Hit up that little fucking makeup vending machine. Make yourself look presentable.
And I saw your last couple of selfies. Here's an extra 50. Go get yourself some fucking Proactive before I pick you up.
Yeah.
Looking real pizza faced out here. I can't be driving around downtown Austin with a pizza face.
It's going to be too hot.
It's going to be too hot. You're going to sweat all your foundation off. It's going to clog your pores, baby. Get some mineral water. Like, you just somehow know so much about makeup. You're like, I love you. I just want you to take care of your skin. It's hot down here. And so you're waiting there, and then you get on the plane. You got to walk through that tube that's like connected to the plane, which feels real unsteady for some reason.
Yeah, I've seen the videos.
And so I finally get to my seat. I'm sitting there, and I have the window seat. Because my mom was like, thought it would make you feel better. I'm like, yeah, it makes me feel better when I can just open the window and look out and see what's happening, which is exactly what I did.
Yeah, you gotta.
Because I was like, well, I might as well see. And so, like, when the plane starts to go around,
open it and you look and you faint.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Because what it is the plane like just goes and it's very slow. Like, you feel it moving. It's just kind of like being in like a really slow car, and then like goes around a thing, and then it starts going really slow up this other thing, and then everything just goes like. And everything gets so loud, and suddenly it starts going so fast, and then like seriously, like it's giving me anxiety. It's giving me anxiety describing it. And so I'm like looking out the window, and like everything is suddenly going so fast, and then you just up, like it is just like not like a straight 90 degrees in the air.
We're gonna be taking off real quick. Just hold on to your bruised balls.
Hold on to your bruised balls.
Oh my god.
And so, but like it's a very sharp, like 50-degree angle that the plane goes up at, and it just all happens at once. And so I'm sitting there just like, because the pressure in your ears is what gets you.
You got to chew gum.
Well, and I'm just sitting there because
like suck a clit.
If I had the room to in this tiny fucking plane.
Get over here, stewardess.
You're not even that pretty, but please, I need a suck.
I gotta suck a clit.
I gotta suck a clit to get over this.
I'm gonna faint. Deeper. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
God got an angel and Deeper died.
Hell got a demon in the Deeper guy.
But God's right hand man.
Some could call him that. Some may call him Paimon, the great saint of hell, in human form. But so like the thing's going up, and I am just like. And I can like feel myself.
Were you next to someone?
I was next to my mom.
Oh.
And so she's like holding my hand because like she can tell I'm like freaking out. So like imagine like just seeing this from like an outsider's point of view. Giant 6'8" man squeezing this tiny little woman's hand, just like hyperventilating and freaking out.
Hard as a rock because of the pressure.
And then Logan is on the TV, and I'm just watching Hugh Jackman getting the shit beat out of him when he's old and bleeding everywhere. And so I'm like. And the remote is like right here on the seat, so I'm like trying to change it to something else, and then Avatar comes on, and I'm like, what are these in-flight movie selections? And like right when I thought that, I like blinked and woke up, and like an hour and 45 minutes had gone by. Like I literally like had such a panic attack that I like passed out.
Yeah.
And, like my mom was like, oh, thank God you're awake. I was like, how long was I out for? She's like, not a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, pretty much the whole flight. And I was like, well, thank God. I was like, I can't afford these $11 7-7s on this plane to get me drunk enough to deal with this.
Yeah.
And that, like, I'm so glad that I slept through most of it, because like just the last 45 minutes were just nerve wracking. Like I'm just not a flyer. It turns out, like
Same.
I just don't like. Well,
at least we know now when we go on world tours, we
take a boat.
For the world, or I guess world. I meant to say just America tour.
Yeah,
take a boat through America,
Hell,
Mississippi,
just tearing up the concrete, doing riverboat shows along the Mississippi. Just
came in,
pulling up on the Datter Express.
Had to come from the home show in Rockford down to Austin, Texas. Next, we're going to Washington D.C.
baby.
Cape Cod, we're coming for you next.
Just driving a huge boat down the highway, just
getting the
tearing it up.
logistics.
But no, if we do world shit, we're gonna have to do the boat, because like there's no like.
I'm glad we're on the same, because you used to say a boat. I'll just fly and be there.
Well, because I didn't think I would
have fun fainting.
I was gonna say I didn't think I
15-hour flight to Australia to see Barry, because we love him.
I would do it for Barry. I would do a 15-hour flight for Barry. Or a 7-day cruise,
just
whatever.
Keep waking up. How long was I out? Hour and a half. We've got 13 hours
just
left.
Pass out
we both pass out. How long were we out? 14 minutes. Oh my God. How much are you supposed to faint in succession? They're like, not at all.
Not at all.
Oh my God.
Some people do.
Wake up.
Some people.
Did I faint again? Yeah. Oh my God.
You ever heard of the Mile High Club? Some people are comfortable enough to fuck in this environment. It's like, how?
Maybe that's how you get over your anxiety. You get your small cock out, because you're not having a good day.
was having the worst dick. I could feel
inside.
I could feel my heart like pounding, and I'm like,
Your
"There's
dick. It's so far in.
Well, I was like, "There's no way I could even get an erection in this situation." Like, I don't even know how some people like do the Mile High Club based off of this. But like, because
imagine
like
having to get your ass wiped.
Oh God,
deeper.
But like, I looked out the window when we were like up in the airs, and like you could see it. Like, it looks like a little like the world just looks like it looks fake. Like, it just looks like a fake little diorama of like cities and towns and
flat?
Stuff. No, it's round. I can tell you the world's round.
I guess you were out for the part that showed how flat it is.
I guess I was. But like, I felt so relieved to like open my window and see like Midwestern colors on the ground again.
And you're talking about you like elbowed the window, broke it open.
Yeah, got sucked up against
pull your head out. You're like, well, that looks beautiful down there. Oh my God.
I'm telling you, man, seeing
your cages just fly out, hit another plane.
Plane goes down.
Yeah. We got some turbulence. I think there's a small gauge stuck in the engine.
I think there's
know, like a ear gauge. There's glasses, but they're just comically on the front of the plane, like it's a big.
I'm a body modification artist. Those are not the process is called gauging. Those are technically called tunnels. Shut the fuck up. We're crashing. The engine blew up in the left wing. We're going to die.
I just wanted to be right one more time before we die.
I'm very self-serving. Fuck you. There's a special place in hell for you.
Oh no, I don't believe in God.
Seeing Chicago from the air made it look so small though. Like, because like honestly, because honestly, like you see like the suburbs, and you see like the old shipyards and like the train tracks and stuff, and then it's just
like
the
sign I put up for you.
I did. It was beautiful.
I rented 17 skyscrapers, and to connect them, we almost ran out of time. That's why the flight was delayed. The weather was beautiful here. It was so hot. I had contractors passing out, painting this big sign that said "Hey Slim," but they fucked it up, so it said "Hey Limbs," but with no B. And I was like.
And I'm riding by. I'm like, I wonder who Limbs is, and why does he look like me?
Oh, I wish I had a friend that painted something on the
Chicago skyscrapers for me.
This is why I hate planes. They throw
screaming in my
off
plane.
Off the ceiling.
Oh, you're so pissed. You're standing on the ceiling. A demon of rage has possessed you to the point where you're just spinning your head 180 degrees and throwing contractors everywhere like a large spider creature.
Yeah, I'm on the ceiling throwing them onto the beds. They're like, again. Upsies, Daddy. Upsies.
Stop calling me Daddy.
No,
you're just whipping them against the wall.
It's supposed to say Slim. It does. You're looking at it backwards. What the fuck? You gotta get on the plane.
You gotta see it from the air.
Yeah, they really pull one over on me. They're like, you gotta see it from the air, otherwise you.
I send a Snapchat picture to you from the plane. I'm like, it does not look like
travel.
And I'm just like, whoa.
No, they're saying I'm looking at it's because I gotta get it.
It's because I'm looking at it at an upside down angle. The plane's crashing. I've got the little oxygen mask on.
Thing. Like, you took art class, make a vanishing point. I get it. I'll get up there one day.
It was so nice just landing in Chicago and like smelling Chicago, which is wrong. But like smelling Chicago again and seeing all the surly people, I was like, I'm home. Thank you, God.
Daddy's back.
Just to end my Austin trip, I did get some of the, like I said, the best vegan food I've ever had in my life. Got lemon pepper wet wings.
I saw.
Which they were incredible. They were fantastic.
Disgusting.
They were so good. But one of the places I wanted to go specifically is called Voodoo Donuts. It's like a crazy donut shop where they do like,
aren't those like a lot of places?
They're like, there's a couple out east.
I feel like I've seen one somewhere.
But like this is like a big one they have. Of course it's big. It's in Texas, you know.
Everything is smaller in Texas.
Everything is smaller, it turns out.
Yeah.
But so I went, and because the big thing is they have vegan donuts there, and they have like lots of different varieties. But then they have like really crazy non-vegan ones. You can get like a maple one that has just 4 strips of bacon on it. And it's just like,
I swear I've seen this somewhere.
And just huge donuts too. They're like this. They're just massive. I ended up spending $30 on a box of donuts.
Jesus Christ. And it was 3 in a box.
No, it was a huge box full. One of them was called a voodoo, and it looks like a little voodoo doll, and they put a pretzel rod where the heart is at, and then it's like filled with
a person.
Yeah, you get to name it after somebody, and then you eat it.
So that's why my life's been going bad. That's why my dick fell off in the shower 2 days ago.
It's been going bad way longer than before I got the donut, buddy. Trust me.
Well, you pushed me over the edge.
And I'm about to break. But no, and so this was the only time I went to downtown Austin, because that's like the real touristy area down there where they have like all the, you know, the Coyote Ugly Bar is downtown.
Yeah. You got up and danced.
No, I got up and danced.
Those Daisy Dukes.
Got in the Daisy Dukes. I got the horses in the bag.
Butt cheeks
really just blew everybody's mind. But so there is I wouldn't call it thriving, but a vicious homeless population in Austin. Like there's literally just
this is the story.
But like they're literally just like just sitting everywhere, and like people are genuinely nice down there, you know. And so like I saw several people walk by and like give people money and like food and stuff like that, like bottles of water because it was so hot out. So like people generally want what's best for other people down there is the general consensus I tend to get from being down there. Very stupid. Everyone's out to get you. Everyone knows that. And so like we parked about 2 blocks away because like there was no parking, you know. It was like a Sunday when we went, so there was like no parking downtown. So my sister just pulled off somewhere, and I ended up like going down the block, crossing the street, going back down the block. Saw several homeless while I was out there. Went into Voodoo, got right up front. There was like nobody in there, and the guy was even like, "You picked a great time to come because usually at this time of the day we're out of vegan donuts and the line is out the door." And I was like, "Okay, fair enough." I got something called an Old Dirty Bastard, which is
covered in crack.
Which it's a cookies and cream donut with chocolate frosting and peanut butter drizzle on top. It was ridiculous.
I don't get how that's the Old Dirty Bastard.
I don't get it either. Sure. But they also have an Elvis Presley, which is a peanut butter and banana donut with fried bacon on top.
It's served on a toilet.
And it's served on a little gold toilet, and you get a gun with it to shoot your TV with back at your hotel room.
Smart.
And so I'm leaving, and I counted 7 homeless people asked me for a donut on the way back to the car, because like, and that was
an artisanal donut.
Well, that's what was crazy about it, is like it wasn't like, "Hey man, spare change," because like I'm used to like, "Hey man, you got any change?" Spare a couple of dollars. But like, you know, we come from a rough area, so we're the type where like we just keep walking and talking. You have to be very selective about what you say. Like when you're walking, you don't, like if someone goes, "Hey, can I use your phone to make a call?" Say, "I don't have a phone," not no, because that implies you have a phone and they're gonna come rob you for it. And so I got asked 7 times by 7 different homeless people while I was like, "Hey man, spare a donut? Hey, can I have a donut?" And I just kept going, "No, these are for my sister for work. Sorry, can't spare a because I thought about it at first, because the first one asked, he's like, "Hey man, spare a donut?" And I was like, "Sorry man, these are for a thing. I can't." And I just kept going. And I was like, yeah, you know, it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world if I gave a guy a donut out of my box of $30 donuts, you know. But then like another one asked, and I was like, okay. And then there was 2 dudes sitting on a corner. I was trying to yeah, they were like, "Hey bro, spare a donut. You got some donuts to spare?" Well, and I was like,
donuts for the
I was like, so
I
was like, so I got 7 donuts for myself. So at this point, I would have been down 4 because it was 2 dudes, one and then a lady that asked me. So I realized that if I'd given because if you give them one, everyone's gonna come flocking too. Like, you know, they're gonna see you handing out donuts. It's like, "Did you bring enough gum for everyone?" Yeah. But you know, the homeless see you handing out food, they're gonna assume you brought enough for everybody because you're Jesus Christ, and you're suddenly gonna make more donuts appear. But yeah,
that's what he was known for.
It was the most interesting homeless experience I've ever experienced. Because
I say we get homeless out here and just ask for donuts, because everyone will be like,
"It's a bold
donuts.
move."
I don't have a donut, but you can have $1. That's how you get them. Reverse donut psychology.
Well, because I was like, it's so interesting, just because I'm so used to like Chicago bums asking for money and stuff, and they have like so much homeless down there. It's almost a stereotype. Like you go around the highway, and
many people move there.
They have a literal guy. There was like we started to like notice like the same people every day who like hang out on certain corners. Guys with dogs, guys with bucket drum sets to play drums for money on the highway.
I gave a bunch of people money for bucket drums when I was in Milwaukee.
Did you?
Yeah. It's so impressive.
There was one dude standing on the edge of like a 4-story highway, shirtless except for some very flooded like pants that he was wearing, ripped as shit. Like it had to be from the dehydration. He was just so buff. Had a giant squeegee on like a pole and was like washing people's windows and stuff like that. And like it wasn't comical, it was just sad, but like you could just see where like everywhere you went there, like people had like their own territory for where they were like begging and stuff like that, you know. It was
so don't go to Austin, everybody.
Go to Austin, because like
go to Austin and get homeless, ask for donuts.
Yeah, do that. That's the trick right there. Go to whatever the guy from Supernatural owns a bar down there, and my mom was like, "We should go, maybe he's there." I'm like, "Ma, Jensen Ackles is not going to be at that fucking bar, and I'm not going to pay for his overpriced shots."
All right, we got to get into some submissions here. First one comes from Little Old Lemmy.
Per usual.
The email is snackyo@blowme.com.
Fair enough.
It's a good throwback. It looks a little girthy here. What are some of your guys' biggest fears? Good thing we haven't covered that at all on this episode already prior to this. Some of mine include drowning, waking up with amnesia, or just having a big chunk of time just gone from my memories. Imagine this. You guys wrap up the show, go home or whatever, and go to bed. You wake up in a completely different room and house. You're sleeping next to someone you don't recognize, and you look at an alarm clock. The date is March 23rd, 2029. I don't think we'll have alarm clocks in 10 years.
I don't have an alarm clock now.
I don't either.
I have a phone.
And it wouldn't tell me the date.
Yeah. What alarm clock do you have that tells you the date?
What do you even do? You don't know what friends are still alive or dead. Same for family
I'm
pets.
going to assume all the dads are dead.
Same for family pets. You can't even imagine what you seem to have missed. You just remember finishing up the show, going home, and at some point falling asleep. What would it be like looking in the mirror? I just hate the idea of that. Another fear is having a lucid dream that you can't escape from. Like, you're in a dream, it's cool, you fuck some people, fuck up others, dance around, rap with Valet, Kanye, Prof, and Pusha as an honored guest.
God, what a show! What a mash of genres. I get the Pusha and the Kanye.
And Valet.
But can you imagine Prof opening up for that?
Good job, bud.
If these guys play with any backtracks, scream fuck you and tell them it's from me, and we're like, eh.
Huge Valet neck crab.
Yeah. Valet's like, it's fine, I don't respect you any less, and just hits his blunt. We're like, God, you're so perfect. Can't wait to see him in a couple weeks.
But it doesn't end. You are trapped in the dream. You know nothing is real, and even though you are God in your own universe, free to do what you will, you have never been more enslaved in your own hell of your own creation.
Well, first of all, that sounds great, because I would love to just wake up and start over again.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Whoever I'm sleeping next to, new pussy, even though I've been hitting it for the last, what is it, 10 years?
Yeah, it's a dude.
Whatever. If that's what I'm into.
The newest pussy, some would say.
Yeah, some would say buttholes. Some would say buttholes are the new pussy.
2019. Just being trapped are what my fears revolve around, never able to escape. This came from a dream where I was drowning under ice as everyone I love or care about was on top, trying to break it to get me free.
Okay,
using shovels, rocks, ice picks. It was such thin ice, I could almost touch them. I was so close. They were making cracks, but it wouldn't break. Anyways, what do you guys think? Love you, Dad. See ya. I think you got to talk to someone about this.
I think that sounded so...
That dream is something very specific. Yeah. You're not able to fully...
And this is from a guy that's been having fucked up nightmares recently. Like, I've been having some
from
real...
a guy who wakes up screaming.
I've been having some super vivid fucked up nightmares recently. But yeah, man, don't talk to us about it. We're not qualified.
Can't help you. My biggest fear is flying and dying, baby.
My biggest fear is dying in ways where I can't breathe. Like, I hate not being able to breathe. Yeah. And so, like, drowning, like someone fire,
just giving you mouth to mouth, but they just keep sucking the air out.
Oh God, I had a very vivid. Kids dream up the weirdest shit.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was 5 or 6. I had a nightmare that I was in a coal car, like those little, Indiana Jones, Yeah. And I was riding in it with a skeleton, and the skeleton was moving very, like... Comically, like, janky, like it's on strings or something. Yeah, like skeletons tend to do, real clackety, clackety, clackety. Yeah. And I remember being really scared in the dream, and the skeleton was like, don't worry, I'm going to save your soul. And then he grabbed me by the throat.
You said this on here.
I know, but, like, I never stopped thinking about it. And he, like, sucked my soul out and put it in a bag, and he's like, that's how we save your soul.
Smart.
But like, I don't know how I thought that up as a 5-year-old.
Had a dad joke, basically.
Yeah, essentially, it was a super forethought for all of this.
Yeah, this is all based off of skeleton dreams.
Yeah,
all the wacky things we say that you can't imagine where we came from.
There's your answer, longtime listeners. It's all based on wacky skeleton dreams. But I don't know. I have control issues, so a lot of my nightmares revolve around like situations I can't control.
Yeah.
Where like I feel like there's nothing I can do to stop this horrible shit that's happening. Like it won't necessarily even be something like apocalyptic. It'll be something like just terrible happening in my own personal life where I can't do anything to stop it. And just that sense of being out of control is very scary for me. And
I think that's where all my fears come from. I also feel like we've said all our fears and crazy dreams on here.
Yeah.
So Leonard, you always ask things that we've covered. So I'm
which is interesting.
You've never actually listened to a single episode. You just skip through 30 seconds.
I'm just going to go at 3 quick ones. I'm just going to say my big 3 fears are God, women, and the ocean, and we'll leave it at that.
That makes sense. Mine are flying and dying and nothing else I fear. Nothing else I fear. No man.
Not man's law, at least.
The next one is
Jungle's
from
law, however.
LS1 Daddy. And the email is, I can't remember my email at gmail.com.
Little servant for my number 1 daddy.
I thought it was Luscious Slut number 1.
Lucky Slim, my daddy?
Mm-hmm.
Is this my child?
Yeah, I didn't want to lead you down the path, but it says,
Fuck.
Dad, why don't you ever show up anymore? Mom says you're not real. Please just reach out. I need you. Things are looking dark. Yeah, he is your kid.
Here's my response.
Yeah. It says, have you guys ever sat on the toilet for so long your leg or foot falls asleep? Just happened to me. It's not fun. I think I'm going to die. Love the show. Dads, keep it up.
I don't know who hasn't.
Yeah, I think when I got this submission, it was happening to me at the same time.
I mean, I should.
Anytime I sit down on the toilet, all my appendages just go limp.
I was gonna say if you happen to listen to episode 100, you know I'm just blasting them out.
Yeah, so if you're going soft in a 6-minute stretch, you should go to the doctor.
Exercise more.
Never do that.
I will say when I've been in situations where like I just can't stop shitting, you know, like food poisoning or something, like my legs will fall asleep. You know?
Yeah, I have it happen from time to time.
Yeah, because you spend 17 hours a month in the bathroom.
That just makes sense. I got to get everything out. I got to let my legs fall asleep so I can feel alive again.
The true stranger.
The truest. Next one comes from Mini Horse. The email is fuckyoemail@gmail.com.
Fuck yo email.
I want to point out, don't know who this is, but they somehow managed to make the text all bold the first time ever. The entire text is bold.
So are they saying it in a very intense manner, or is it like all yelling?
Didn't know it was an option, but kudos to you. We've had a lot of submissions and no one's been able to do this. It's 3 quick ones.
Love it.
Says, hi dads, I have 3 quick-ish would you rathers for you. Would you rather have all your clothes fit perfectly or have the most comfortable pillow, blankets, and sheets in existence? If you pick the bed, you can still have clothes that you like, but everything would fit a little off. I'm going clothes. Just so immediately.
Yeah.
I'll sleep on a hardwood floor if my clothes
I was going to say, I've slept in some hovelly beds before.
I don't even think I can appreciate a nice bed because I'm such a garbage person.
The bed in the hotel I stayed at had,
your hotel.
It had like 1,000 thread count sheets or something.
Been in together.
No, like those sheets were so soft, it made me want to shave my legs just so I could like slide them in under the sheets, you know? Like that was not like I appreciate a good sleep in bed more than anybody, but the idea that my clothes would be slightly off for the rest, like that drives me insane.
I just think none of my clothes fit perfectly.
Anyway, yeah,
everything's always ajar and uncomfortable.
Right,
slightly.
Yeah, but
so
like
the idea of everything always being perfect,
especially pants.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if I could find a perfect pair of pants that like my pants always fit perfectly. Like that would make me because I'm a 36.
Yeah.
So it's like for the love of God, I am a demon with these long dancer's legs, and I need pants that fit right.
Yeah, I'm definitely going clothes. As soon as I started reading it, I was like, clothes fit perfectly.
Oh my
God, I
don't
care what the other option is.
That's a beautiful daydream. I never want to wake up.
Number 2, would you rather travel the world for a year on a shoestring budget or stay in one city for a year but live in luxury? No day trips, only stay in one decent city if you pick the luxury one.
I hate not having money when I go somewhere.
The shoestring budget isn't necessarily bad.
No, it's not bad, but like I feel like
you can travel the world.
But that's what I'm saying. If I'm traveling the world, I want to live it up. You know, I want to experience the best things to experience everywhere I go. You know, I don't want to be eating at a Burger King in Spain. You know, I want to be eating at like real fine restaurants, going to like real nice places.
You can find cheap shit. I feel like, but yeah, just living in one city in luxury for a year isn't like that interesting. It would be great, but I feel like shortly after, I feel like if you did it, you would be like, I picked the wrong one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like my first
traveling the world.
Because my first thought was like Minneapolis, like huge
I would go
budget.
somewhere nicer.
Where would you go?
I feel like I would go to New York or LA if it's gonna be like
LA.
Because if I'm stuck in a city, I can't even take day trips. I need like a crazy city.
Yeah.
Minneapolis is gorgeous and fun, but there's bigger cities where you could do more shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to LA and New York, so. And that feels like then I could be like, I live in luxury, bitch. You know what I mean? You're not just in LA,
right, especially
like,
living
in a one-room apartment.
Yeah,
I'm like, look at me.
Or like luxury.
Do I have money for everything then?
Yeah, like does that mean like is it like unlimited budget at this point? Like
yeah.
can I go to any restaurant I want?
That might be because maybe then I can become a internet personality. You
yeah,
know,
spend
what we
all
all
the money
to
for
be.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Either would be good. I feel like I'd say world, but I'm not going to travel the world because I can't fly. Who the fuck knows? This is a real doozy.
Yeah.
Let me live in luxury in LA so I can become the biggest piece of shit.
I will agree with that. Let me be the biggest piece of shit in New York.
All right. Finally, would you rather wake up as a new random person every year and have full control of them, or once a week spend one day in a stranger without having control of them.
I like this one.
Yeah, these are some good ones.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, Mini Horse. Thank you.
That's interesting. So what was the first part again? You're a different person every week?
No, you wake up as a new random person every year, but you have full control of them. So you just wake up as a different person every year.
See, that's such a gamble, though, because I
you
feel
could be
like
a horrible person.
you could wake up in like a horrible Nazi's body somewhere, you know. But you have full
or that guy that fucked the garbage can,
yeah.
and you're the garbage can.
Oh my god, the garbage can was alive the whole time.
Yeah, it is now.
Because like think about it,
you
could wake up in like Warren Buffett's body, you know, have like all the money
bloated.
You got control of it, so you can just like send it to whatever bank account you're using.
I feel like so if it happens every year, let's say it's 30 years, you're 30 different people. Some of them are going to be horrible.
That's what I'm saying.
And
at some point, you're going to wake up in like a third world country with absolutely nothing running for your life
year.
for a
after
year.
You were just like someone great
living
with
living in a penthouse in New York with like $1 billion, and you could do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's a huge gamble.
That's what I'm saying. But like then you could be like a run of the mill dude like us, just like living in the Midwest.
The worst.
That is the worst.
Absolutely. I wake up as you. I'm like, this isn't even.
We
far
wake
enough
up as each other
from,
for a year.
I would love. No, I don't want to be you for a year. I want to be you for like a week and a half. I say.
No, I want to be you for a year, be in control of everything, and then switch back, and then we have to fix what we've done to each other's lives. Can you imagine?
You would ruin my life completely. I would try to ruin yours, but you'll just adapt. I would.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You would just stretch out the collars on all of my shirts.
Oh, I would do the most.
I want to die. I want to die right now.
Stretch all the collars, lick all your vinyls.
The plural of vinyl is vinyl.
Teach your dog all kinds of new tricks that you don't know when you get back into your body.
You leave my daughter out of this.
Yeah.
It's her birthday today.
It is her birthday today. Happy birthday to my niece.
Yes, happy birthday, Nelly. You're 5. When you get older, you can listen to Daddy's podcast.
Oh, God.
We'll never let her listen.
Never let our children listen to this, no matter what.
But yeah, I also like the idea of not being in control of someone, because then you'll see unfiltered what a person does.
Right, but
that's like the best voyeurism. Like, yeah, I know, but you get to experience new things.
But what if they're fucking like really nasty people?
I mean, you get to.
What if they're doing really nasty things? Like, what if they're shitting in a bathtub? What if they're a hoarder? What if they weigh 600 pounds and they're a hoarder?
You would have such a beautiful perspective on life.
I will agree with that. If you could be all these different
then
people.
You could, when people are like, maybe you should walk a mile in their shoes, be like, I walked one day out of a week in his shoes, and he was disgusting.
I feel like what I would do is, if I'm a different person for a year, every year, if I landed in like a really bad life, I would just take that year to make that life better. So when they like pop back into their life, like imagine like popping into like some poor kid lives in like teenager lives in like a shitty house, but you like go to school and really apply him, and like he does great, gets into a good college and all this shit, and then like he comes back into his body and he's like in a good college somewhere, like away from all the shit he had to deal with.
Well, yeah, realistically, even if you pick the year one and you were in a shitty circumstance, like that it's up in a year, so it doesn't really matter what you do. You could just take off. You could be homeless for a year. If you like start off homeless, you could go be homeless somewhere else and go to Austin and get donuts and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter in a year.
Right, because in a year it doesn't matter.
Honestly not that bad.
But I see.
Unless you're like wake up in prison. That's got to be one at the 30 for sure. There's going to be one that like really fucks you.
See, I'm a firm believer in leaving a place better than when I got there.
See, I want to burn it down as right when I'm exiting.
See, so my thing is like, if I came into a really bad life, I would want to do everything I could in that year to improve that life.
If I came into a really bad life, I'd murder people in it, and then I'd get out.
I feel like
the joke of the movie would be I fuck it up and I'm stuck in the body forever until I realize the moral of the story, and I've already killed 13 people. So I was
gonna say, for one of the lives, I would probably take like the last day and just like kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, you make it so good. Like people are like I can't believe
great.
You came from the biggest struggle. You're on the news. Like, this person has faced so much adversity, and they came out a glowing example of the perfect human.
There's like a parade,
and then you're at like a press conference. You get the key to every city. There's so many keys, and everyone wants to shake your hand, take pictures.
People with keys.
And then you're like, "Thank you so much. I know it was such an ordeal in 1 year. I can't believe I'm here." And then you just pull out a knife and you just start slitting people's throats.
Oh my God! Just start knifing people in the guts.
Oh my God! So you can't be perfect when you don't want to excel. It changes the entire world. People are like, don't do better. You'll be like, that fucking guy. He got the keys to every city, and he just killed.
And he just started knifing
people,
and then he collapsed.
They didn't even like stop him at first because they were like, this has got to be something else. I don't know.
It's got to be an act.
Yeah,
just dead people everywhere.
Welcome to hell, bitch.
You come back into a new body, you're watching the news the next day, and you're seeing all that, and you're just like, oh, I'd hate to be that guy.
You wake up in a new body, and it's the throat that you were about to slit. This is the perfect end of this movie. And then the person wakes up, and they're like, what are you doing? And you're like, oh my God, I see what I've done. And then he's like, I killed all these people. And he slits your throat, and you killed yourself. Netflix.
Come
on.
Are
you kidding me? You wouldn't watch that?
You wouldn't get
that. Was incredible.
That was a great twist
and
for an end of a movie. That out. Yeah, we literally.
I'm M. Night Shyamalan.
No, I wouldn't parade that around if I was you.
I'm gonna make it better, and then I'm gonna kill everybody once it gets better.
That's the way. That's the Dapper Dad's way, baby.
Make everything better,
and then ruin it at the last possible minute.
Kill everybody.
Kill them all. Devil's blood.
Yeah, welcome to hell, bitch. The blood of your savior is gone.
Holy shit.
Sorry. I got really pumped.
So you're tapping into some dark things across the table over here.
Tapping in, constantly living in. It's whatever.
It's a gamble.
We have some voicemails, but I don't know if we have time. Let's just do them on 102 if we get there.
Yeah, if
maybe
we get there.
Just say, fuck it. I'm going to blow my nose on the mic. Real quick, while you were living it up in Texas, I went to see T-Pain at Summerfest.
T-Pain and Lonely Island.
Yeah, T-Pain and Lonely Island, which this had come up.
Did he come out and do I Just Had Sex with Him?
No, because that's Akon. You're like the people in the crowd who said, we're T-Pain, and I said, that's Akon.
Shows, but I mean, I don't
He came out and did I'm on a Boat.
There we go. That's what I was thinking of.
Which felt very special. You know, if you ever see someone come out as like a surprise guest with a feature on a song, you're like, this is like a very rare occurrence.
Right, yeah. Outside of seeing Cash and Nova do know all the time.
Yeah, the things like that. Yeah, this had come up. I remember like looking at the Summerfest lineup, and I like put it in the dad chat, and I was like, T-Pain Lonely Island, $23, sounds exciting. And then I forgot about it. And then when you were like, I'm gonna be out of town, I was like, well, what can I do? And then I was like, oh yeah, T-Pain and Lonely Island. So yeah, we went, and it was T-Pain is just
he's T-Pain.
Hits, just hits.
He's a beautiful person.
Hits on hits. And then a lot of very long pauses where he would leave the stage. We assumed he was getting an oxygen tank or something. It seemed odd.
It's possible.
And there were so many people. It was worse than like Soundset. There were so many people. Because we got there. He went on at 9:45. And we got to Milwaukee a little later than I wanted. We got some food. We went to that bar by the rave that we always go to. Ordered a Vegas bomb. Because I was like, let's do some shots.
Yeah.
Something. We'll do a Vegas bomb because it's nice and chill.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know how to make it.
Okay.
Matt goes up. It seemed like she had just started. She kept putting. Matt asked for grenadine in one of his mixed drinks. Then she just started putting in all of our drinks.
I say, what happened to the guy that's usually there?
He was there when we came in, but he must have been leaving. I couldn't tell who was.
I was like, because that guy knows what's up.
Yeah.
He makes a mean drink.
Oh yeah, she was good, but yeah, Matt goes up. He was like, I'll go up and grab him, and then I just hear her go, I don't know how to make those. And me and Cole looked at each other, and then Matt was like, what is it? And I like Googled it. Because I know it's like Red Bull, Crown, and then like a cherry thing.
Yeah.
I Googled it. The first thing that comes up, which I assume would be the right one, Crown, Red Bull, butterscotch, vodka.
What?
And I was like, and I said it out loud because I was just reading it. And then I was like, don't do that. I don't know what that is. I shouldn't have read that. And then I was like, it's because she was trying to say it didn't have Crown in it. I'm like, it for sure has Crown.
It sure has Crown.
It has Red Bull, and then there's like a cherry thing that's the red part. You can kind of taste it. And she asked Matt Smirnoff cherry or McGillicuddy's cherry. He went Smirnoff, which we think was a big problem. He gets these shots. I go to grab 2 of them, and so he can bring the rest. And it looks like Jameson. It's just like light brown. And I was like, Vegas bombs are always red and delicious.
Yeah.
And so we were all like, I don't know about this. And then tried to take it. Top 3 worst shot of my life.
Really?
It was, I don't know what it was. It was so bad. Me and Cole just almost like took a big gulp and just went. We ended up putting them in our mixed drinks because it was so
that says something.
Unbelievable.
When Cole won't even drink it.
I can usually take shots better than Cole. I've seen him throw up Hennessy.
I've seen that guy drink garbage juice out of the Fleshlight trash can.
I know. That's who we were talking about the whole time. Yeah, they were unbelievable. It was funny. I went to pee when we were leaving, and I heard outside the girl go, "How were those? Were they good?" And then just silence. And I was like, "Are they really just like?" And then she goes, I made them strong for you. And Matt was like, yeah, I think they need a little bit more Red Bull. Because I think she did like you'd want with a mixed drink, just a dash of Red Bull and a bunch of liquor. But it didn't make sense.
It wasn't a good ratio. Yeah, you got to get it just right.
We got outside and I told them that I heard that. And they were like, yeah, it was weird. And then I'm like, the worst part is someone's going to come and be like, Vegas Mom. She's going to be like, I just learned how to make those perfectly. God. And then you get that and you're just like, oh my God. It was like $10 for 4 of them or something, or maybe even cheaper. So it was
that's
cheap,
not terrible, but
so yeah, then we had to park, which was a nightmare by Summerfest. So we get in there and it's like 9:30 and we had to pee and find beers. Right. So many stands with cigars. And me and Matt were like, that's weird. And then so many people smoking cigars everywhere.
Weird.
Yeah, which like we just did it and it's horrible.
But yeah, so like recreationally at a thing where you've got to breathe and like walk around.
You just smell, instead of smelling weed, it was just cigars. And then weed occasionally, because I was like, are these big blunts stuffed full of weed? No, just cigars. But we walk over to the area where it was.
These huge blunts.
And we were so far back. There was like, it was worse than Soundset. Like you couldn't even get close. But yeah, he comes out. He played, so many hits. No bartender. Really broke our hearts. But we had to leave early because Lonely Island started while he was still going on. And he started to play. He went on a medley of like American Girl and like I Love Rock and Roll. And I guess it's from a TV show he was on, Matt said. And it was like so weird. He did a Panda remix. It was all over the place.
Oh, yeah, I've heard his Panda remix.
Yeah, then he plays like shit that you're like, oh, fuck yeah. Played Good Life.
Did he do the Boot Up remix?
I don't even remember.
The T-mix, as he calls it?
Yeah. And then, we went over to Lonely Island, which I always enjoyed their like early stuff, the videos and shit. And it was they have like a whole show. Like they had so much shit. They have like the Captain Jack Sparrow with
Michael Bolton.
Yeah, Michael Bolton. So they have him and it's like on a screen and it's like he's like live satellite in and he's like, sorry I couldn't make it. I really wanted to be there. And then they go to play the song and they're like, wait, he just texted me and it says to meet over and it says like 2 streets in Milwaukee. And he's like, he says he's ready to fuck. He's on the corner of 63rd and North Avenue, just down the street. And then they're like, so he's here and he didn't come to the music festival? But yeah, they played a bunch of shit. We had gotten over there later, like I said, but it was very entertaining. They have like a stage showdown. And then, they brought out T-Pain for I'm on a Boat. And that was their last song. And to see so many white people absolutely lose their minds for I'm on a Boat. Yeah, it was kind of hard to look at. Because I was like, oh yeah, I'm on a boat. And then just everyone like, I'm on a boat, motherfucker.
White people love Lonely Island, though.
Yeah, they love a safe rap group.
Yeah, they love the safest rap group you can possibly get.
But yeah, very entertaining to see. The perfect way I wanted to see them. $23 and just a piece of it. I'm not going to go like to a thing.
Out of my way to go see Lonely Island.
T-Pain, again, banger after banger. Songs you forget, and you're like, I'm in love with the stripper. And then just another one and another one. Then he has to go take a bunch of air because he's going to die. And then another one, and he's got goggles on. And it's fucking crazy.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it was a good time. That's what I did while you were in the Big Apple.
Nice.
So yeah, leave us more submissions. We'll play those voicemails one day. Let's keep it loose.
Someday.
We did 100. And
we can do what we want now.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, if you're listening, you're stuck with us. We're 100. We've gotten to the point in the relationship where like we've just gotten too comfortable, stopped shaving.
You're used
to the sexy
us.
underwear's out the window.
The
literally.
sex is even worse than the sexy underwear.
Yeah, there's no sex.
Hardly any communication.
A lot of commitments. We're both so busy.
We're just living around each other at this point.
Yeah, we're both ghosts in this apartment.
It's sad.
Welcome 101, baby. Wait till 1,000.
Wait till 1,000 when you hate us and are plotting to kill us.
Bye.